Now we're recording. Hold on. Hey, Brandy.
Hey. Welcome to The Scoop, Weddings Unveiled. With your hosts, Tim Schaus of TLS Entertainment and Brandy Harlan, a local wedding planner, bringing you tips, tricks, and ideas to help plan your wedding day. This is The Scoop, Weddings Unveiled.
Hello. Hi. How's it going?
It's great for a Friday.
It is Friday, and this is The Scoop, Weddings Unveiled. Tim Schaus, premier DJ with TLS Entertainment. I had to think about that for a second. We got the wonderful, beautiful Brandy Harlan, your non-retired wedding planner. And then we've got a special guest, Alexa Ann, with Pose 360 Photo Booth and
CC's Bridal Boutique.
Thank you.
I got you, girl.
That's right.
That's why he has me here.
My memory is horrible. Very bad. So,
What'd you eat for breakfast?
I'm sorry?
What'd you eat for breakfast?
I have a shake every morning.
Oh,
a
well,
protein
that's
shake.
easier.
Yeah.
You can't forget that.
You can't, I mean, don't ask me like what I do every, like that. It's like a routine thing. So, but.
Who got married last weekend?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's every
I gotta think about that.
pro,
Hold on.
though. That's every industry.
Last weekend. Hold on.
I don't remember the weekends before.
It was at Lakewood Ranch. I remember that. It was a rager.
It was a
rager. I hope they're not listening.
It was great.
Was it Blake and Alexa?
gosh.
I think it was Blake. No,
This is Alexa.
I know there was her name was Alexa too.
I had two Alexas this last weekend, so
Yeah.
It's like the new
I
name.
know.
It's the most popular name now that we have Amazon products too. Like why?
Oh,
like,
true.
You know, they picked that name.
it's great. It's my
great.
world domination,
There you
actually.
go.
Speaking into every
I
house
like
ever.
it. I like it. You just don't know.
Yeah. Surprise.
Well, Alexa, thank you for joining us on this wonderful Friday.
Thanks for having me.
And so, yeah, we've got some fun things that we're going to talk about today. But before we get into all of the nitty gritty of everything, tell us a little bit about you and your story, where you're from, how you got into the wedding industry, all the good fun things.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome.
No pressure. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
Right?
This
Let me
is her
make it
new dating
interesting.
profile, unless you're
Exactly.
married.
Well, no. But no, so I grew up mostly in Sarasota. So with middle school and high school here. And then I got involved in retail really early. So I like all things fashion and, you know, I'm not glittery today, but sometimes I am.
True.
So yeah. But I did like large scale retail management in California for a while. And then like we were kind of talking about preliminary to this recording, I woke up one day and was like, I don't like selling people things that they don't love. And was like, I'm out, screw this. I don't know if I can say that on.
No,
Yeah, you're
it's,
good.
you can say whatever the hell you want.
Sweet. Don't tempt me. But no, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to sell people things that I actually like. So
What were you selling them that they didn't like?
just like jeans.
Oh, okay.
And t-shirts and stuff. Like I was working for big retail, big box like companies.
So there wasn't any like feeling and purpose
Right,
behind the
you're-
garments. It wasn't like you're in a
Yeah.
vintage boutique and it was like, oh my gosh, we just got this one of a kind.
Yes, and everything is like just sell and make money for these big corporations and everybody, you know, you don't
While you
ever-
make pennies.
Right, exactly. And you don't sell anybody something they're gonna like keep forever or have photos in that you ever get to see ever. You know, it's very like unrewarding. So bridal like gowns have always been on my radar. I was always a big like say yes to the dress watcher, which is so cheesy, but it is.
I've watched
true.
it. That's fair.
Right.
He's watched probably many more episodes than he cares to admit.
Right. I mean, like any of the wedding planner movies. I was a big Sweet Home Alabama child.
I
Okay.
get
you know.
J-Lo all the time.
Yeah, that kind of actually resonates.
Rom-coms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Love rom-coms.
So I wanted to come home and figure out what I actually liked. I tried out a bunch of different industries, bridal being one of them, and I fell in love and never kind of went back. So now I'm here and I've dabbled in a little bit of everything, including now Pose, which is a whole different ballpark for me. But if I can have my hand eventually in everything wedding industry, that would be the key.
You don't want that.
Just a little bit of
She
all
just
of
wants to
that.
dabble.
That's my ADHD though. Like that, I need a lot of things going on at one time.
It's like if we don't have chaos, we can't function.
Exactly. I need it all to be spinning so that I am afraid to drop
That's
any
when we
plates.
focus the most. Yeah.
So that's who I am. Hopefully did I actually say everything? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
That's great.
So-
So you have family here, or is it? all
Yes,
your
I have family
You
here.
have fur babies.
I have fur babies. I don't have real babies because I don't do well with baby children. But
Fair.
yeah, I have fur babies here. I live in Tampa, so I run the CC's Bridal brands right now.
Yeah.
And we've got several stores up there, so they keep me really busy. And then I've got Pose on the side, and between that and trying to be a normal functioning human, I think
That's very
I run
hard.
out of hours during the day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. A friend of mine, I planned her wedding. We got her dressed at CC's.
yeah, it's really cool to be a part of because they're so long standing and they've been around for 40 plus years. So we'll have moms, daughters, prom, like all the stuff mixed in. So you had the whole family be CC's brides.
How many locations that do you run?
I run 3 currently. So we've got the main hub in Tampa. We've got the like smaller signature store called Ivory and Lace.
Okay.
And then we've got a bridal outlet, which is a new concept in Clearwater.
And are they all called? I mean, aside from Ivory and Lace, you said, are the other ones called CC?
The outlet location is called Bridal Studio of Tampa Bay by CC's. So they're all by CC's, but they
Gotcha.
don't have that actual name. So that way people can find it on a map.
Oh, true.
Hopefully.
And they're all in Tampa.
They're all in Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. And what are you seeing? Are you seeing? I mean, this is something that we get into later.
Cool. We can slow down if I need to.
No,
Just
you're good.
rattle stuff out.
I mean, I want to see like what's trending in dresses these days compared to last year when we had Julia from
I can
the
tell
Perfect
you
Dress.
what I see.
What do you see?
Sleeves.
Yes.
So many sleeves.
So all right, let's just go straight into it. What are you seeing in the dresses for 2024? Like what's trending? What's in, what's out? Because that was something that we talked about earlier, like a couple weeks ago, was like what's in 24 and what's staying out in 2023 and beyond and behind.
Well, sleeves is definitely, I mean, you should have sleeves coming out of your ears right now, probably, in all of your events.
I haven't seen any.
Sleeves,
They're everywhere.
gloves.
They put them on and I don't find them the most attractive thing on some.
They
They feel cumbersome.
Yes.
Like you can't raise your arm because they're attached under your armpit. You can only go this far. How are you supposed to be like this when you've got like?
Take it off.
And sometimes
Yeah,
they
they
marry
are
like really
removable.
tall partners, and you're like, okay, well, you're gonna need to
Your first
be
dance.
doing some really high shoes or like a lot of scooping.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
there will be no YMCA for your dance
Yeah.
party.
Well, I
Sorry.
hope
And
the
do you
DJ
like
wasn't
the
playing.
sleeves, or are you with it, or are you?
I like them in certain capacity. So I don't like the ones that are attached all the way on the shoulder. They look
Yeah.
beautiful on some people. They
Like
really
some
pull
are
them
like
off.
tight here, and then they get really poofy,
Yes.
and then they tighten again at the wrist.
Like a billow. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like, what's going on here, I guess a little. But they're cool when you do them right. I love the embroidered, like glove sleeves going on now. The girls will have like the new last name embroidered in them, which is
Oh,
really cute, or on the
that's cool.
hands. There's
That's
some cool
different. That's
stuff
pretty
going
cool.
on where
That is
people are
nice.
making things their own. So I love that. But I want them to be able to like dance and have a good time. Like we want to see pictures of them in the dress, like actually rocking out. Or if they're on the photo booth, I want them to be able to put their hands up and do weird stuff and not have to worry about like keeping the sleeves in the right place.
Yeah,
So
and always adjusting.
yeah, exactly. And making sure their sleeve is not stuck on stuff. So we're seeing a lot of those. We're seeing less like skin all the way through, which I think is cool. We've had so much skin over the last few years that it's kind of a cool balance where they want to do like sexy more modestly.
Yeah,
you know?
I've seen a lot where it's like skin just on the top half, possibly,
Yeah.
and like around the rib cage area and stomach area, and then it's
They're still like even starting to line it now where they're taking it all away and they're just doing like little very feminine touches to things that are not like as in your face, which is cool. There's still always going to be the fun, sexy gowns with all the stuff showing, which is great. But there's a lot more like, I think Hailey Bieber kind of started a little bit of a trend of like,
with
let's
the
kind of,
intention.
let's make a really cool dress, but not like in your face. So we have a lot of that. Plus there's a lot of no rules going on right now. Like just throw whatever you want on and be your best self. So that's always fun.
True.
What about? I've seen a lot of embroidered florals and color
Yes.
on dresses.
We have a lot of color coming in. A lot of like embroidered veils, which are pretty badass with like all sorts of stuff on them. We've got a fully like floral colored gown in right now, which is one of my favorites.
When we say color,
like
what-
wildflower colors, like yellows and pinks and peach and yellow. I said yellow.
but
You know.
lots of yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. So like actually color in the dresses, so it's not just
Yeah,
white.
like embroidered flowers all over
Yeah, it's cool.
the skirt of the dress or in
I'll
the
have
veil.
I'll have to research and see what this looks like because I can't put it together.
I know that's always the
There's some
disconnect
cool-
when we talk about like color and fashion.
I'm like,
because it is like, so my background, I have a degree in fashion design and
Okay.
marketing, and so I'm always like diving deep into like the fabrics, and I'll tell him, guess what the color of the year is, but
He's
which
like,
is
oh, should I paint my nails that color? I don't
like,
understand.
it was magenta last year, and he's like,
And mustard.
I was like, yeah, you pair it with like mustard and eggplant and turquoise. He's like, oh, okay, mustard.
I didn't see, and then you
I
showed
had
me.
to show him pictures,
Yes.
visual.
You're just
so
thinking
I'll have
of
to
like
pull
your
up
fridge.
Yes, I like pictures and I like visuals.
very visual.
Got it.
So when we say florals on a
like-
dress, he's
I'm
like,
like,
he doesn't even like flowers to begin with.
I
no,
love
chill. I do like flowers. I do like flowers. I
likes
just don't
getting
think
flowers.
I do. Yeah. What guy for one wouldn't like getting? Well,
I
what
wouldn't
guy?
ask that question.
I mean, honestly, if you were to bring flowers to a guy,
Yeah.
he would probably
Knock
be
their socks
ecstatic.
off.
Yeah, that'd
because
be-
we never received those.
Oh, good dating.
Just
tip.
saying.
Okay.
I'm gonna start bringing people plants from now on.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
I do love a good plant.
brought you this plant.
But as far as florals are concerned for weddings, I'm just like I've said before. I don't think couples need to spend like $15,000.
Yes, astronomical amounts on florals.
Because
and then
it's
they die.
well, they just throw them away
They
at
throw
the
'em
end. That's my
Yeah.
ick with it, if you want to call it that. But
There
but
you go. You got a lot of great
you go.
examples. We actually almost
Like
picked
that.
her up.
well, show the camera.
Camera. So yeah, that's
Beautiful.
gorgeous.
Really? She's really cool.
Isn't that
All right, so if
beautiful?
you guys are listening
She's
to us
gorgeous.
on the
Oh.
iPods or the iPods, the Apples or the Spotify's,
Podcast.
you're not gonna be able to visually see it, but if you go on YouTube, Brandy is showcasing it to the cameras.
That's right. So pretty.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, again, I'm seeing. Well, I've seen, or one of the things that we talked about was that like white is not. It's not out, but we are
More
seeing
creams
like we're
and
seeing creams, and we're even
blush.
going into like. Well, I would love to see a black dress.
I was gonna say he's gonna say he
Yeah.
wants to see a black dress.
I would love
Which
to
are
see it.
always going to be in. Like they don't ever. Some people really just can't get on board with them, but they're always gonna. You're always gonna have a black dress bride. You just can't
I
get it.
love it.
Yeah,
I love
I do
white
too.
and
Like,
black.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot more of dress changes or during
Yeah,
the wedding.
second dresses, sometimes even thirds.
Yeah,
Like
3 is
you
a
know,
huge thing.
Yeah, because you're going from, your ceremony and then you have a reception, then you have like after party dress or like an exit dress, and like we're going to an after party.
Yeah,
But I had
think-
a bride change into a third outfit and they rode off on a moped.
Oh, badass! I love
True.
that.
Yeah, it was so cute.
we actually did a wedding together
Yes, we did.
at
Um.
the Howie Mansion.
Yes. Yep.
How in the hills?
Somewhere.
That you didn't know existed.
Right, I had no idea it existed.
Or no,
Wait,
Bella
no,
Cosa.
no, Bella.
Yeah.
Yes,
They did a wedding together.
Lakeland.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
It was really far out in the middle. Of
it was
somewhere,
October
but it was cool.
13th,
Oh, and it was so cool.
and it was a Friday the 13th.
Oh.
And it was. I expected it was Nora and Mike.
Yes, they're actually good
at
friends.
the
of mine.
memory.
Or I guess Mike is good friends with my best friend, but they are like the coolest, most badass
They-
couple, and she
yes.
did the most incredible outfit change. I was like, "Girl, you have."
She was
knocked
killing.
it
She
out.
slayed it.
Yeah. It was
Okay, I
killed
need
it.
visuals for this.
Oh, wait, I need to find it and I'll shout out.
Shout out
Nora.
to
You had
Nora
the
and-
best
and
freaking
Mike.
gown. I told her that 12 times that night. I think.
But yeah, they're
What made it so awesome?
It was like a pant dress thing. It was cool.
and there was
Had
like a
lace
slip
up
going
one
all the
side.
way up the side. Of
slit?
a slit, yeah, I think, or
Okay.
something. I don't know what it's called.
You said slip.
Slit. No, I said a
Maybe
slit.
not a slip, but
A slip.
Slips are not in, right?
No,
well,
A slip.
is it a slip or a slit?
There's two different things.
both I think are in because everything's in.
So a slip is like an underdress,
Right,
like
no, a
that your
slit-
grandma used to wear underneath her church dress.
And a slit is
is a cut.
exposes.
Correct.
Right.
Right. Yes. Slit.
Yes, yes.
I have it right.
All
I
right,
don't know
let's
if you
check
can
this
see
out.
this.
Oh,
on
I
her.
think I remember you telling me about her.
So her
this dress,
ceremony-
and how it was open down one
Yes.
side and then it was
Yeah, down
pants.
you can't even see it on here, but the whole leg is out. It's wild.
That is so cool. And that
They
was
were they're a
dress-
wild couple.
Oh, it was so
so
great.
and there was actually a lot of people at that wedding that I hadn't seen since high school.
Yeah.
Because I went to high school with a lot of, because I went to Booker High School. That's where, well, you went to Booker Middle,
the first
Booker
year.
High.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a lot of people that I knew. I was like, holy cow, I had no idea that you were going to be here. And so again, it was Friday the 13th in October. I was fully expecting, I was really hoping that she was going to come out in a black dress.
Yeah, come on.
I was like, come on, you can do this. This is like setting it up, or at least a dress change, because she did a dress change. But the ceremony had like the frame of the altar was, what is it called?
Words.
I can't think of words
And
right
of course,
now.
I can't even
Colors,
remember
description.
the frame.
Like a, when you pass away.
Wood.
When you
Oh,
pass,
it was very like
and
funeral.
yes.
Oh.
Correct. Yeah, it was
What's-
very
what's the word of what you are put in? A casket.
yes.
I said casket.
The box.
Help me.
Your pine box. Your pine box
So
Casket.
the frame of the altar was
was a casket.
was a
standing
casket
up.
frame.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Yeah, it was. I was like, well, and it took me a minute to like, I had to, because I was setting up Cold Sparks for after, like, for behind it and at the end of their ceremony, and I was getting everything ready, and I just like looked, I'm like, holy shit,
That's
a casket. And they're like, yeah, it's Friday the 13th. They're very kind of.
Did you see the groomsmen pins on
No.
They all had Freddie and Jason masks instead of like, floral.
That's cool.
Now we gonna have no words.
Boutonniere?
Welcome.
Yes,
Welcome.
thank you. They didn't have
Yep,
any
that's what I'm
boutonnieres.
here
Yeah,
for.
there you
They just had mask like pins of all the like horror movies. It was so
Oh my
cool.
gosh,
Yeah.
that's definitely different.
And then the dessert. It was a dessert table. They didn't. I don't think they did a cake cutting by any
think
means.
so.
But they had a whole dessert table, which was, I mean, they had, again, words are leaving me. But it was all like, Friday the 13th, like black and white.
It's awesome.
like
till it-
Beetlejuice style.
Yeah, like skeletons, that sort of thing.
Okay.
In the
Skulls
skulls, yeah.
yeah.
And then in the like reception room, because it's a mansion, and it's like very kind of like segregated areas. Dinner was in a different room. The like party per se was, I don't even know.
Like right smack.
It's like the library area.
Yeah.
They had like a fireplace, and above the fireplace they had "Till Death"
It was
lit
yeah.
up. Of course,
Almost like Lindsay's wedding. I put bats coming out of
Yes.
the fireplace
Yeah.
at her wedding.
very very similar.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
really.
It was cool. You guys rocked out that night. We had a good time.
Yeah, Lewis was awesome. DJ Lewis. So Lewis DJ'd
yeah.
and I emceed.
Nice.
Um,
this is how we got here. Back to the dresses
Yes.
and the dress
Oh, yes,
changes.
yes.
Black dress is always
dress.
going to be in.
she didn't do a black dress.
I'm seeing a lot of courthouse weddings.
Yes.
Where they're doing the shorts.
Yeah. Like short,
Yeah.
fluffy dresses.
Yeah.
So what is really the minis are in, which are those guys, and those are just. I mean, they're awesome on their own,
And they have
even by
great
the designers.
scalloping edges that are
yes.
just like that hard tool.
They're beautiful. But that has brought in another wave of stuff of the girls bringing in the mom's dresses from the 80s and turning them
into the mini dresses. I've seen a
And
few of that.
I'm obsessed. I could be down a rabbit hole for hours.
So do you guys
the
have
minis.
your own seamstresses on site?
Yeah, we've got two in-house seamstresses. They're fantastic, and they will make a mini, for you, for the girls who are wanting to do that. Like we've seen it done a few times, which is awesome. Or sometimes even the girls' moms or grandmothers are making them for them, which is even better. We had last year, actually before I moved up to these stores, we had a girl down here who made the mini and then took all the extra train and like made it into scrunchies and headbands and stuff
Oh,
for
that's
her.
cool.
So it's just coming into this whole cute thing because the moms have been dying for 20 years. Please God, take our dresses out of their boxes and do something with them. And here we are finally like
Not
on
actually
trend.
dying,
I was
but
Oh yeah, they're still alive. But
And probably longer than 20 years because
Yeah.
my,
throwing out a number.
my dress is 15 years old. So longer than 20 years. 'Cause,
Okay.
Yeah, probably more like 30, 40.
But they're coming out of the boxes, so just get ready. Yours is gonna be out.
I don't know
here
who's going to
soon.
use mine.
Well, maybe for
Maybe
a.
I have all boys.
Well-
So maybe, I don't know, they'll turn it into something else. It
or
was
somebody will
a,
be dying to turn yours into. You never
yeah,
know.
maybe I could
Their
turn
mom
it into a
threw theirs
mini
away.
dress. Yeah, might be.
there you go.
Yeah. It was a Monique. No. I forget the name of the dress company.
Didn't you say you got it online?
So
There's a whole story.
here's my wedding
tough
dress
story.
So I found the dress, and it was in a local shop, and this was in '07 when I was dress shopping. And I went in by myself, just tried on a few things, and I didn't get the warm and fuzzies. And it was like middle of the day on like a work day because I worked across the street. So I was like, I'll just pop over, have an appointment like 1 o'clock or something. Went in, tried on a few things, found the one that I absolutely thought I loved, and then I went back to work. And then I went back on a weekend, took my mom, and we go in, we have an appointment, and we're just kind of ignored. Like it was just, it was a small shop, and we were just ignored. And then I tried it on again, and then I went, I think a couple weeks later, another day during the middle of the week for work, went over again, and I still just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel seen. I didn't feel heard. It was total discrimination of some sort, I think probably economically at that point. But so I took pictures of the last time I went in. I knew I was like, my dad told me, I will buy your dress, but I'm not buying it from there because they haven't been nice to you and good to you. Because he asked me how it went, and I was like, it was okay. So the last time I went in, I took pictures of every single tag that I could find on that dress, every single tag. What they didn't know is I was a wedding planner at that point, and I'm a researcher. Like I will research the hell out of something until I find what I need and what I want at a better price, especially if I'm trying to fit in a budget or there's some type of reasoning behind it, or if I feel like I can do it better, then I will absolutely take on that task. And so I found the dress, and I cannot remember the name of the brand now, but I found it online at the Bridal Dresses and More, I think it was called. It's such a lame website.
And more.
And more. And I got my dress, and they threw in free shoes, free veil.
What?
Goodness.
With the dress.
Thanks for using our site.
Right?
please."
Yeah. And the dress in the shop was probably close to $3,000, and I spent like $607.
Atta girl.
Oh, my
Oh, that
dad
is
did.
awesome.
I sent him the link, and he bought it, and he shipped it without me knowing, and all of a sudden a box comes up at my house, right? The box is like the size of like maybe a purse box or like a small lingerie style box, like a something you get at Victoria's
Suck
Secrets.
all the air out of it, or
It
something?
was it was like shrunk in like
Oh my
plastic
God.
wrap, and it was like tightened in this thing, and I'm like, oh my God, what did I do?
order a baby dress? I didn't.
And I'm
need to.
like, my dad already spent this money. Like, what are we gonna do? I don't understand. This can't be a fail. And so I gently opened up the package, and poof, out popped my dress, and it was awesome and perfect. And then I had alterations, and it was great. It
And
worked
it
out perfectly
worked out better
fine.
than
Yeah,
buying it from the mean
yeah.
people.
Not that you should do that, because these days,
We'll be nice to you. Come see us, okay?
yeah, these
Right, you
days
get
you
the-
order something and it's meant, it's size 8, and then
Right.
it comes in, it's like a size 8 for someone who's in China,
Right.
and their size 8 is much
Or an
smaller than
18, or,
like or really really bigger than what you
And it's upside down,
anticipated, and the stitching is like at a catty-wonk or something. But I lucked out, but with the shoes and the veil and everything. So
It came
yeah.
as a whole package.
It
Yeah,
did.
seriously.
Yeah.
So what?
That's wild.
I mean, what are like prices? Like, what's like an?
Well,
the
you should
average-
talk brands first,
Oh,
because
well.
that will determine
Fair.
pricing. Yeah.
All over the place, though, to, pricing at least that's why it's great to have 3 stores. That's always been kind of so up my alley. I like the fact that you can have a bride everywhere.
That's the name of my dress
Ooh,
company.
okay, great.
Monique Oulier was the name of my dress company.
That's awesome. So you can,
I don't know how fancy that is,
yeah, right.
but
You can see if they're still shipping in tiny shrink
Yeah.
wrap.
Yeah.
Actually, I wonder if they're still in business. Bridal Dresses and
I
More. I
think
used to
they
tell
are. Oh,
everybody
yeah.
about
About
this
that
company too.
No,
but
because we want them
don't-
to go to our local
yeah,
shops.
I want them to, but I'm just
to
wondering.
go get
Don't
their
do
dress.
what I
Get a dress in a
did.
shrink wrap, okay?
Don't
please.
do what I did. That was like a chance in hell, and it happened to work out for me. I don't know about everybody else they ordered, so
We'd like to make you feel special and like a princess instead of getting a box and shrink.
Yeah.
yeah,
bridal
because
gets
that's not
dressed in
fun
shrink
either.
wrap.
Like getting a box that's shrink wrapped sends you into panic, and nobody's there to like even cheer you on and see
Yeah.
you try it on and things like that. It was a very lackluster experience for sure. Don't
But
do that.
Also, don't give your money to mean people. So there you go.
Yeah.
There's 2 sides to that sword.
So going back to like the price range and everything, obviously you guys have 3 different locations. So is there one location that has more
Like higher end.
higher end
Different
gowns?
styles.
What's
or-
cool is, we get brides with $500 budgets, and we get brides with $5,000 budgets or $10,000 budgets. It just depends on how absurd you want to get. But my budget-friendly brides and my brides who want to get married tomorrow or whatever, they didn't plan 6 months plus in advance, are great for the outlet store because you've got all of our previous like working samples in that store. So
okay.
years of really cool stuff. We've got, Eve of My Lady gowns in there that would have been $7,000 to begin with, and
now
they
that's
are
fancy.
$1,100.
Eve of My Lady dresses. You're gonna need visuals this whole entire episode.
It's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
They're
fine.
really
You'll
big.
get-
Yeah. But they're from, the working samples of the store, so it's something you would never have been able to get your hands on for $1,000. It's wild. But you've also got stuff way lower down than that, and then you've got mid-range. Our like really healthy price point is ivory and lace, which is great. So everything from $1,600 to $4,000.
Okay.
So you get a lot in a really good space with them, and then Cece's has a really fun set of collections of stuff where you've got things in really good brand price points, like Essence of Australia, which is really popular now, all the way up to Elizabeth Lee, who's our custom designer, who we've been working with this last year, and she is awesome. She can make a dress from scratch, something completely out of your brain.
Does she drape it on you, or
no,
does she just take your measurements?
We'll do measurements. We'll do like a custom cut. We've got a bunch of different fabric options. They'll go back and forth with us for weeks until they get kind of a good, like, essentially workup to show the bride. And then once it's there, we see something we created out of thin air in 6 months, which is wild. So it's cool. It's a lot of fun.
Do you carry the brand? Let me look. What is the name of this dress? Enzoani?
We don't, unfortunately.
Just checking.
I know.
I have somebody
There's
looking
some
for a
cool
dress.
ones out there, and
Just
they're
checking.
cool.
So I go on the knot often just because we both do.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna continue talking about dresses just for another minute, and then we'll get into the photo booth side because I'm really interested in that side. But some 2024 wedding dress trends, as according to the Knot. You had just mentioned like mini dresses, so that's trending apparently.
Yes, very.
One thing that we had talked about that was out, or that was, just it's on its way out, is bows.
I hate bows.
But in here it says for wedding dress trends, oversized bows is in. Thoughts?
I love an oversized bow. I love it. I
Where
want to
does
stick
it
on
go?
everything.
On their ass. On their
on
back.
anywhere. So right now I've got got cool bow sleeves, which are
I have
fun.
seen some of those.
We've been attaching the bows to like the back as if they're a cape, which is really pretty. We've got bows going in the opposite direction, so folding on itself. And I think that's kind of the new
this.
version.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
something like that.
Like turn the bow sideways. And that's how I usually do my sashes for my
Yes.
weddings because I
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
tie bows.
They're
I don't
beautiful.
like bows,
With the
but-
big, long train bow, which is cool. So maybe that's what they mean.
Okay.
Instead of
oversized
just like little
bows.
Yeah. I like an oversized bow. I mean, if you're going to do it big and have a structured bow. It shouldn't be like this droopy eared like bow unless it's a fold over.
All right.
Agreed.
Continuing with the dress trends, pastel dresses, which we kind of talked about. So you agree with that? That's trending?
Yes, like colors. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Boudoir influence.
There's a lot of like almost French looking boudoir influence.
What does that mean?
Well, let me see if I can
More
describe
skin.
this. Well, it's skin, but it's in kind of that different way. There's lots of that little like tulle, like I'm sorry, not tulle, lacy detail that is like fringy almost looking.
Okay.
There's lots of like petite bra cup outlines, a little bit different like outer layered boning, so it looks like,
like
even though
the
you're
outer-
covered, the boning is on the
The
outside.
corset
Right.
style. Yeah.
So I don't know if any of those terms are going to be relevant, but
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like the corset. So instead of it, so when you make a corset, you've got all of your plastic boning pieces that go in to create like a form and a rib cage and,
Sure.
and kind of cinch the waist in. And most of the time that's covered up in fabric. So this is just exposed and it's just the under layer that's connecting all that boning that shows.
Okay.
Usually like some lace around the top of the bust. Usually it looks really nice.
It's
as well.
pretty.
Yeah.
Other
I've seen
trends,
some of that.
black dresses.
there you go.
But
Always.
again, I have yet to see one. So I'm really excited for any of my couples getting married soon.
Wear a black dress.
When you say I do again, whenever that is.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Black dress.
Well, we'll see. You know, black dress. Or, I mean, I just like black and white. Like I've been seeing, like that's another trend
Or
that
a
I
dress change to black.
There you go.
Yeah, well,
dress,
yeah, that's what I would like to see is like a dress change into black. Obviously, I love the classic, you know, white wedding dress. But then, yeah, if you're into a black or a dress change into a black dress. Shoot,
Wait, Roby,
was that?
you're flashlighting us.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, y'all.
Hello.
He's giving us
extra
our
lighting.
spotlight.
Yeah,
right?
I'm trying
Is
to
this
get the
helping
shine on y'all.
The fluorescence.
Yeah, 90s silhouettes. I don't know what that means, but do you?
Yeah, the like basque waist is coming back in. I'm not sure. I haven't quite like married that idea yet. So I don't know what I
Like
think
the
about
wedding
it, but we'll
singer
see.
type of dresses that you have you seen the wedding singer? The movie?
A long time ago, so maybe. But yeah, the big wild sleeves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the big
drop
poofy.
waist with the big poof on the side. So
Yeah, almost think Victorian when they used to have like
Yeah.
the corset
Yes.
and it's stacked on the
Yep.
side of their hips. It's just a toned down less material version of that
Okay.
is what that kind of waist
Right
is.
on. Well, that's apparently trending for 2024.
Maybe in the mini dress. If you could took that and put it in a
Yes.
mini dress
And
as
then
a
just-
second dress.
And then just
That
took
would
that
be-
part off.
No, it would just be a mini dress instead of it being
Oh, I
like
see.
a longer dress and
I see.
having that hip kind of
so that the hips kind of stay fluffy and they don't
Yeah.
like draped all the way down.
yeah, you don't want to
True,
drape all
okay.
that down. That would just be awkward.
We'll just
and
start
weird.
designing our own. So
There
while
we
we're
go.
That's right.
sitting
We're
here.
just gonna make our own company.
I don't know what this means, but it says elements of deconstruction.
Yeah, so deconstructed bridal. I think deconstructed weddings are kind of in right now.
What does that mean?
like non-weddings, as non-wedding as you can get is like the thing. So like you want it to feel like micro or almost like an elopement, or you didn't have a specific ceremony for the dress. It's like clean, usually like clean gowns with things that are not looking as bridal. We've got a lot of that slinky kind of look still.
Think of Maria's dress
Yeah.
that she changed into.
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay, so she had a
Awesome.
So it went around her neck and it had
Horrible
a little bit
memory.
of a cowl neck on it, but it was a big one. It was almost like a one-piece silk.
Yes.
With a low cut back.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that's something you would. It looks more nightgownish a little
Okay.
bit. It doesn't look so. It doesn't have your typical lace and beading and embroidery and things of that nature. It's just a simple silhouette silk,
Right.
which
Okay.
isn't. That's deconstructed. Like you're going back to the basics of what would go under all the dress,
Like the slip.
like the slip.
Yeah.
Maximalism.
Oh.
It's so weird. I think bridal gowns are in this weird space of like, let's just throw in all the categories. Let's give it everything we've got. So like, it's like, we're going to give it nothing on this end and we're going to throw everything on the
Everything.
kitchen sink on the other
That's
side.
funny.
So we have to have it, all of it, because we've got brides who want one extreme or the other or both. And it's very challenging, I think, as a store to stock that much stuff, but you have to, because like you have your maximalist bride who comes in and is like, and I want all that stuff and then make it pink. And we're like, okay. You know, and then
Like,
the other one's just
give
like,
me
I
lace
don't want
and
to
glitter
see a
and
single
beads.
thing shining on me, you know? So yeah, it's wild.
That's funny.
Jumpsuits.
Always. I love a bridal jumpsuit.
I feel like this past weekend she changed into a jumpsuit,
Yeah.
or I saw that somewhere at one of my weddings.
Are you seeing capes?
I have started seeing capes a lot more this last year.
I like a good
I
cape.
like a good cape, especially instead of a veil.
Yeah.
Like there's been some really cool
And
there
how
was-
you do it is
Yes.
very
The hood ones are
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
They can
Oh,
beaded,
yes.
crusted hood
Yeah.
capes.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're just in our own world. I also like the ones that are like when you have the drape sleeve and it attaches to the back,
Yes.
and then that also drapes as part of the back of the dress, but it's a cape.
And then drapes all the way
And
down.
then
to
drapes
the
all
Little
the
Red
way down.
Riding Hood.
Yeah, that's
That's what I was thinking.
Embroidered and beaded.
That's what I
Yes.
was-
and then it says just married on the end.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
And any other things that you're seeing, or any dresses or trends that you particularly like, or that you're seeing specifically in this area?
I
And
mean,
then we'll move on.
Tampa's funny because it's like there's a little bit of everything all the time. Florida is always kind of like on the collection of everything bridal end of things, so they don't change trends really fast here.
I was gonna say, I feel like we're always like behind everything.
Well, and I guess maybe that's not a great thing to say, I don't know, but Florida does kind of, they're always on the tail end, so you kind of always have to have a mixture of every trend that's coming in. You'll have the people who want the new hot ones, but you have so many more who are like right in the middle of wanting to see everything.
So do you think the West Coast sets the tone, or is it?
I think it's the
Europe-
Northeast.
I think it's the Northeast, absolutely.
or European
We have a lot of European influence right now.
that sets the tone for what we do. Yeah.
I don't know that we had that in like 2019 or 2020,
No,
but
it
we do
wasn't
have
as
it for sure
polished,
right now.
I don't feel like it was as polished, and I don't also feel like it was as like intentionally detailed.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. It was just like, oh, that's just more lace. I feel like I saw,
Yes.
in like, because I did the year that I retired, I did like
You are not retired.
32 weddings in 9 months, and I felt like it was the same lace pattern every single
everything.
time. And I'm like, yep, same dress. And I feel like I've seen all the dresses, but now that I'm like, you know, because I'm always on TikTok and looking at dresses. I'm always looking at dresses. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing a lot more intentional and construction, like, like even like waves of like hard lines that are, but also are flowy, if that makes sense. So it's like glittered or sequined, but it's like a billowy like scoop neck, or it's a wave down one side.
Yeah, it's very specific. It's very unique.
Like very a lot of construction.
A lot.
Yeah.
And giving birth to like prints or printed lace and things like that, which is cool. Designers are having to get outside of the box like way harder this year, especially 2024. We go to market in 6 weeks, I think. So I'm excited to see how much they push the envelope. We'll be in Chicago, Chicago market this year, and then we'll be at a like mini market in North Carolina or somewhere.
Okay.
But the Chicago market will be the bigger one for spring. But they pushed the envelope a lot in September, so it'll be cool now that we're spring going in to see how much they've had to do over the winter. So coming up with new things to blow people's minds.
Yeah,
so.
I follow this Instagram page and Facebook page called Fashion Mob Daily.
Yeah.
And they'll take some of the runway and stuff that they've been seeing, you know, from obviously last winter, because we're always a year behind when it actually debuts. And some of the outfits, I was like impressed, because celebrities are obviously wearing them, but men are wearing a lot of the female things, and females are wearing a lot of the men's, like longer baggy pants or vests and things like that. Like, it's very unisex, and I am digging it.
It's cool.
It is really good.
Even just what was on like last few days ago, the
Golden Globes.
Thank you. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know,
Yeah,
some
Golden
award
Globes.
show.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool. Some of the male outfits were cooler than the women's outfits for the first time.
And we've had a lot of really big movies lately, and the premieres for those, they've been bringing it.
I love to see it, especially with the custom. Oh, we're gonna go in a whole different direction, I guess now. But especially with the custom suits, I'm like, now we're in menswear. I don't even work in menswear.
That
but-
was the last. That was the last thing that was trending was suits and separates.
Yep, it's really cool. So I think it's going to be awesome to see the funky stuff coming out for, you know, women and pushing their bridal attire, and also the male doing the same thing, or, you know, however they want to wear it, or whoever wants to wear it,
Like the
honestly.
floral boutonnieres, instead of like the it's the
cool.
floral collar now that you've been seeing. Like, it's a big floral piece that goes down the lapel, and it's not just this little touch of flowers that nobody knows how to put on. Or they get crushed when they're dancing and doing all this stuff, but it's more intense.
Again,
just a lot of intentional
Reasons why
color.
florals just don't.
He's like, don't put your flowers on everything.
Don't put your flowers
There's no,
on the
there's
guy.
no need. Just
The
put it
guys don't need
towards
a flower.
entertainment or a photo booth.
Right. Don't you want more fun stuff? Nobody's
Right.
going to remember your flowers.
Speaking of fun stuff,
So good
segue.
Good segue. So aside from the bridal, like the dresses side of things, you just started a year ago. Pose 360 photo booth.
Yes.
Which is really cool. That's like a new kind of style, like within the last year or two, is the 360 photo booth. So kind of tell us a little bit about that for our one listener.
Yeah, awesome.
Maybe two.
Hopefully two. So Pose, well, obviously working in weddings and dresses and all that fun stuff, was kind of birthed out of the idea of like you see so many, first of all, you hire a photographer, which is awesome. Shout out to all the photographers who keep us all in business because they make it look cool. But
and video too.
Yeah, absolutely. So it came kind of out of photo video. I've got a lot of friends in that circuit, so I'm so saturated in the way they see the industry all the time. And then working in gowns, awesome. You know, we would do bridesmaids and all sorts of things previously. But you get all these awesome photo video of your bride and groom and then their families and stuff, but mostly of them because they're the star of the show. But you've got your bridal or everybody who's there at your wedding in their dressed to their nines or all the things and with their date or whoever, and they're over in the corner taking selfies. And you're like, wait, the action is here. Stop taking selfies. I know you like want to see how you dressed for this wedding, but you know, there's other things going on, but also we want you to show off your outfit. So how fun would it be for there be a space that they actually get to like live share with their bride and groom the way they look at their wedding because they've, you know, made just as much effort to show up and participate and buy their plane tickets or whatever, you know. So I personally liked that idea of it. You get this like live, so the Pose 360 is a 360 video booth camera. So it has like a little stage. The camera goes on like a rig and it does a like video or boomerang or photo or whatever it is. And it's fun because the guests actually can stop selfieing for a second. We know you love them, but they can get on there, they can dance, they can be fun, they can show off their outfit, they can strike a pose. And then they actually get a version of how they looked at your wedding without like being at their table taking their own picture all the time.
Yeah.
And it's full body.
It's full body. We can make it like, most of the time I kind of try to focus on the top half of you. But yeah, if you want it full body where you show off your badass shoes.
I mean, you gotta give a moment for the shoes sometimes.
I agree.
The whole dress, the whole pants, all the things.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So that was kind of where it came from. They had kind of started coming up this time last year. They were coming onto the market. I was like, wait a second, like I want one of those. Yeah. So my girlfriend and I invested in Pose and started kind of getting it off on the running. It's been a slow and fast year, I guess, because I've been doing so many other things. Sure. But I love to actually be at the wedding and involved with it, especially in bridal. I don't ever get to see that part. So being with Pose, I can literally come with some of my brides will have been my brides for CCs or for anywhere else, and then I get to see them in their dress, having a great time, like taking all their pictures and be a part of the rest of it.
Are you able to like double dip? Like, hey, you have your bride and you've just gotten her dress and like, oh, by the way, in case you're interested in this to add.
Slide you my card. No, I don't double dip, but it's funny.
Why?
That's great integrity.
Whatever.
That's usually the kind of mindset I've got here. But
good job, Alexa.
I would like, obviously for my brides to know that we exist, obviously. So anytime there's like partnership opportunities with my brands, awesome. We're always involved in that kind of stuff. We just did this awesome 12 days of bridal giveaway, so we were a part of that, which was awesome. But their bridal experience is so special. They don't need to feel like anybody's soliciting them for anything like during,
Of course.
But they somehow do find me afterwards without me trying. So great, we're here. Yeah. But it's awesome.
So did the name come about, or is it a franchise?
Nope, it's something we just kind of pulled out of our thin air. I like the idea of
because you pose.
Yeah, because you pose on the whole thing, and it being like very like voguey and fun. People are always like, "What do we do when we get up here?" And I'm like, "Give me your best pose," So it's fun to be able to kind of like throw the name in all the time. Yeah. So
and then guests can once they do their poses and you take the video, then how do they receive?
It all is through text. So we invested in this really awesome software that like essentially like live delivers the videos in real time to the guest when they put their phone number in. It texts them right away, and then the bride and groom get the whole download at the end of the night. Yeah. So it's great when you like. First of all, you can see grandma up there. So grandma or grandpa or any of the things. It's
hopefully they don't fall.
Well, that's part of my job is making sure they get on and off the stage in one piece.
She didn't know she was also doing risk
security
management.
My insurance. So yeah, we are careful getting people on and off, especially the more cocktails that they have.
Yes, agreed.
But you're probably not gonna. You're definitely not gonna have your grandparents for your whole life. So how funny is it that you see them at your wedding, dancing with you and your mom.
Yeah.
Like I've got so many awesome videos of like
Yeah.
the bride holding her 2-year-old daughter with the mom and the great or grandmother, or whatever it is, great grandmother, whoever you've got there, and they don't know really what's going on, but they're there doing it.
That's
So,
such
like,
a
have
cool.
fun.
That's a cool element because Brandy, you've talked about how video is so
Yeah.
crucial. I
It
think
is. It
to
is a
have
non-negotiable.
because there's you have family members that were at your wedding.
Yeah.
15 years ago, you said.
Got married 15 years ago, and since then, Greg has lost both of his parents. I lost my mom, my brother, and my stepfather.
Yeah, and you have
So 5 within our
you-
immediate family.
and you have video
Yeah.
of them all at that all the so
Dancing,
even if you
having fun,
don't
even giving speeches when video, when the videographers
Yeah.
used to do that because I got married so long ago.
so if you don't have a videographer, I think
Get one.
Yeah.
well definitely have one. Definitely get
Yeah.
one. I highly recommend
it's
it.
a non-negotiable for me.
But I feel like the 360 photo booth is like a really cool compliment to your wedding.
Yeah.
If you don't have a videographer, even if you do,
Absolutely.
but having that,
It's maybe more budget friendly. Like we're not getting the rest of your ceremony and stuff, which is
Well,
really, lovely, and you're gonna want those
Yeah.
pieces. But
yeah, I think Tim and I we've discussed like, okay, photographer should go home. He thinks right when things start dancing. I
think, like,
maybe
right after, like,
30
sunset
minutes
photos.
I think 30 minutes into dancing, photographers can be
I
dismissed.
think most photographers would agree
and
with
then,
you too.
Yeah.
right? Because they stand around
like-
and
'Cause
they're
they're
like,
like,
oh,
oh,
how many drunken more
if I-
photos?
right.
Yeah. And then video,
unless
I
they get
think, should
creative
stay
with
till the end
it,
of the night.
unless photographers get creative with it, like Bill with Ying
Oh, yeah, he
Photography.
does, like, group photos.
Well, they have.
and
Well, no,
he
they
has, like,
they bring out these like little gadgets that they
like
put up to the camera.
prisms
Yeah,
and all this crazy stuff.
and then he's always this. I love Bill for this.
He's artistic.
He comes. Sorry, he comes over to my DJ booth and he'll like start like blowing smoke in my area, and then he'll bring these like little lights and like light up my area and
he takes
creates
photos,
this
yeah.
whole
How
like little
fun.
vibe for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey, yeah, let's go, Bill.
Yeah,
Thank you.
He's
I just
very
come with all this
artistic.
That's
stuff.
Yeah,
right.
he does.
Exactly.
He's like a little ninja. With
I
all
just
of his
look this
things.
cool all the time.
Yeah, definitely. But I think definitely having the photo booth be there all night as well as video would be really kind of cool too.
Yeah, video definitely all night to capture the entire, because I mean that just
Yeah.
you can create a whole story or like cinematic view of your day, and then like the photo booth is what because we have a photo booth as well. It's more of we have prints, so we technically have two, one that's with a DSLR camera, like high quality high quality photo print or photos with prints. And then just got a newer one, which is kind of like similar, where it takes just a regular photo,
A GIF,
a boomerang, video,
Yeah.
and then it's all delivered via text, QR code, emails, and this whole thing.
but it's just front facing.
But it's just front
It's
facing.
like they use it
Yeah,
themselves.
they can,
right?
and so
Yeah.
technically don't need an attendant. I always like to have one,
Right.
just in case
Gets knocked over.
keep everything organized.
keep everything organized,
Yeah,
or
'cause people get a
some-
little crazy.
Yeah.
But some people are like, all right, I took the photo, now what? I'm like, well, it says right there, but you already.
directions.
People don't like to read.
Mine's the opposite.
No.
It's like, do not touch me
Yeah,
until
that's why I'm
the
here.
person is there. And they're still like,
Yeah.
anyway.
but I do get a lot of questions. I mean, I have my photo booth, but I also get a lot of people asking, hey, do you have a 360 photo booth?
Yes.
So
So how does that run as far as price wise goes?
It just
your-
depends. So, I mean, I always say like you probably want it for 3 hours at least, because you want people to get loose. You don't want
Yeah.
it to be like super quick and you're in and out. So 3 hours for us, it starts anywhere between like 900 to 1200, depending on how many guests and you know how many hours, or how
many
I need to raise my
Exactly.
prices. Damn.
well, it's like such a heavy piece of equipment. Like
Yes.
the stage itself, I can't physically lift off the ground. So like it takes. I have figured out how to maneuver it off the ground, just to clarify. But no, it's a hard job to do for one person.
Yes.
So I'm consistently having to pay, obviously, for labor and things like that, which goes into it. It takes up a lot of space. It runs a lot of energy.
There's just a lot.
Yeah, it's just a big piece of equipment. It'd be like, all of your DJ equipment. It's heavy. It's very, it's just massive. So it itself is large and in charge. And then the program to get it to do all the things we want it to do, it's all kind of built into that space. So especially if there's a large party, I want to be able to get everybody posing and interacting and having a good time while somebody actually does run the booth. So it's great when there's two of us, because first of all, we start the party, we like to dance on it and around it and all the things. We're like your hype men the whole time, which is great because people are shy when they get up there.
Yes, yeah, I could, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, what do we do? So that's our like smaller package. It goes up to kind of wherever, depending on your event. So, and how many people are there.
I mean, I would say
5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say I typically see for photo booths anyway, between 3 and 4 hours, 5 max.
Unless it's like a corporate event or
well,
a daytime
right,
festival.
corporate events, but for weddings itself,
weddings
I would say
weddings max 5 usually. The corporate events and the other stuff, the holiday parties or things go way longer.
Yeah.
I don't know why would they need them that long, I guess, unless they're coming in and out, because those really do get like daunting. People are not on them all the time. But yeah, if you're doing like a big festival, if we've done any of that kind of stuff, then they're there for a while. How
customized can you get with it?
Pretty custom. I mean, I would like to think so. Maybe other people are doing all sorts of wild stuff. But we will customize your banner around your video, unless you just want it clean and you don't want anything on there. So your brides can literally pick their color palette, and it can say, like, I think Mike and Nora's was like "Till Death Do Us Part" on theirs, and it had all these like kind of spooky things on their actual video. And then I had like Halloween music playing on the overlay. So all their videos kind of went with their wedding, which was fun. That's so they can customize like a kind of a sound, the template. We can do a different color like rug and setting, like the way it physically looks in your wedding party. Different lighting, we can do props, so all sorts of stuff, I guess. But even stripped down and easy, like, it's still so fun as just itself that you don't really need all the extra frilly stuff.
And photo booths in general, are a great addition to any wedding or party, just because it gets your guests kind of out of their seats. If they don't really feel like dancing, they can at least go enjoy themselves at the photo booth or at the 360 booth. To get out of their seats and just have a good time.
It does. It gets everybody a little silly, which is nice.
Yes.
Plus, 2 champagnes in, they're really feeling it themselves, and they want to do it 1,000 times. So.
Then you just want to toast the photo booth.
We do get a lot of like toasting as it goes around. I'm like, don't throw things at it, okay? Like, please.
How many times have people walked into it as it's moving and like almost got knocked out? I'm sure.
So many.
Does it?
I need to make like a fails video or something.
Oh, you should definitely.
Like all the people getting knocked in the head.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
I was wondering that earlier. I'm like, somebody probably walks right into that.
Don't jump off when it's still moving, and they always do. So yeah.
Does it like break the arm of it, or?
I have broken an arm or two. Yes, actually. So we did. This is a terrible story. My best friend's gonna kill me for telling it.
Let's hear it.
Only 2 people listen to us anyway.
Great. So we did I showed up with my booth at a gymnastics event for a friend of my best friend's friend who owns a gymnastics gym in town, and we just did their holiday like awards party or something. Anyways, her husband, his whole family works there. All their kids all go to the gym there, so I know them all, which is fun. Yeah. So they come up. I finally get the whole family collected because I'm going to send my best friend this video of her family on the booth. And of course, her kids are the family's kids are the ones that go absolutely wild. And the one just flings off and like grabs onto the arm.
Oh, no.
Goes spinning in the whole arm, and the ring light and everything just fly off in the abyss. And I'm like, okay. And that is the end of this event, because now I don't have an arm or a ring light. And I was like, hey, so your family just crushed the booth. She's like, like they did a great job. I'm like, no, like physically crushed it.
It's broke. It's done.
She's like, oh my God, I'm so mortified. I'm like, oh yeah, taking it out on top. Thank you.
Wow.
So,
did you get it fixed?
Yes, yeah, it's fixed and it's working. That was months ago. Like
okay, so you're up and running again.
Yes, we are.
Oh my gosh.
But I was like, oh my God, I've never seen somebody just hold on to it as they go around the whole way.
Do you have, like, what if you had an event the next day? Do you have a replacement arm? Like, how does it, do you have a second one?
I have a replacement, like, lighting and everything. And then, yes, the arm has, like, an emergency fix piece and things. I'm also fairly handy with tools, which is a strange skill set for me, I guess. So I was able to fix it. And then the piece I could not fix had to be replaced. But, yeah. I was glad that we didn't have an event the next day though.
Yeah.
So
What are some other crazy things that you've seen at weddings, or that have you
in
seen
general,
at your either at your booth?
well, we
Or
started off really wild, strong. Like we've only been around for a year. We've only done, I don't know, 15 events maybe this year.
Oh, wow, okay.
Which is great, healthy, I guess. But I know a few other people have gotten off running and they're like cranking. They've got them every weekend. So I'm like, oh, are we behind?
No.
But I've had celebrities on this booth almost every single time we've done an event. And I was like, should I just brand
Name
us
drop.
as a
Name drop.
celebrity booth? We had I actually don't know his
number
name.
one choice of celebrities.
I know.
What?
Number one choice of celebrities.
And that's what our
there you
photo
go.
did.
Oh,
like,
there you go.
like a tagline.
That's
We
great.
had the lead singer from Check Yes Juliet or whatever.
Who?
He's from Bradenton. Oh my God, I'm gonna know his name. We did the Orioles event this time last year, and they had the guy from We the Kings is the band, and they sing
Oh,
Check Yes
yeah,
Juliet.
he's really cool.
He's tall.
He's from
like
Bradenton. He
gingery
hangs
and-
out all the time downtown.
He's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was on like he was like one of the first
He's
people
really
ever
super
on it.
nice.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we had the whole, was it the Zach Brown band? The whole band. on
Really?
it. Yeah. We did a wedding randomly we got booked for, and we walked in, the whole stage was set up, and Hulk Hogan's kid was DJing.
Oh.
Hulk
so they
Hogan's
were
kid
all-
is a DJ.
Yes, I
you
had no
imagine?
idea. They were cool. Him and his girlfriend are a
I know
DJ
they're from St. Pete. I
couple
know
or
Well,
that.
his
something.
daughter's the DJ.
Is she?
Hulk Hogan.
His daughter was a singer.
And
Oh,
she
yeah.
DJ'd though too.
Well, and now they're all in
I'm
it.
pretty.
I think.
I'm pretty sure she DJ'd.
I think you might like a show way back on MTV.
Oh yeah.
DJ'd.
Do you know? I remember that. Yeah.
Wow, that's from the
I
archives.
know, right?
Bringing
it out.
But they were there DJing, and then this huge stage was set up, and I was like, "What is going on?" And then the wedding planner was like, "Oh, the Zach Brown band is friends with the bride and the groom, and they're gonna play the show." And then they sat them at this table right in front of the photo booth, or right in front of the 360 booth. And before anybody was even up and dancing, they were all looking at it like, what is this thing? Because I was testing out, making sure it worked. And the one guy comes over and like taps me on the shoulder, and I was like, yeah.
You're like,
Can I help
"Hello."
you? They're huge, by the way. They're like giant humans. Why are all celebrities like these monster humans? I don't know.
Depends on how tall we are, though.
I'm 5'4" on my very best day, so
I'm
that
only
may help.
5'2", so, yeah.
So then, yeah,
I
you would
feel
have been
it.
like this with me. But he's like, can we try that thing? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I get them all up there. They barely fit. And I was like, listen, my insurance does probably not cover the amount of value that is on this thing right now. So I'm going to need you guys to be very careful. They're all like, oh, okay, yeah, no
Y'all
worries.
are worth a lot of money.
I'm like, so please be careful, all right? And this thing's spinning around. They're doing their little thing. But it was great. So I've had them on, which I think they were probably the biggest, most fun.
That's pretty cool.
They were so like cute and sweet. Like, can we get on that? I'm like, oh yeah, sure, please, please get on it. So yeah,
That's great.
Huh.
I like
Nice.
that.
yeah.
I can't say I've only had one celebrity, I think, at a wedding, which local celebrity, Nick Walinda.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
We all know him.
Yeah, we do.
We're like, yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
If we're talking about celebrities, all right. Let me just
Who
name
you
drop
got? Who
here.
you got?
Do you know who Paul O'Neill is? Played baseball for the New York Yankees back in the day with Derek Jeter and all the
I know
things.
who Derek Jeter is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Does that,
So-
does that help?
So, friend of Derek.
Yeah. So,
perfect.
well, actually, so I DJ'd. All right. So, oh my gosh, Chris, Rabo, something. Anyway, the bride's dad played baseball for the Cincinnati Reds.
Okay.
And so I DJ'd Sabo. Chris Sabo is.
Oh, yeah.
He was the Major League Baseball player. He played with Paul O'Neill with the Cincinnati Reds, and some other he was in the major leagues for a very long time. So I DJ'd his daughter's wedding, who is in broadcast in Cincinnati with the Reds, and then her husband Kevin Roy is on the PGA Tour.
Cool.
And so really that was a fun wedding.
That's cool.
Let's see here. The head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, I DJ'd his sister's wedding,
Okay.
which is kind of cool. So more like sports celebrities.
Yeah,
I would
I
be
feel
like,
like we
who
get a lot
are
of
these
sports
people?
Well, and I didn't. The funny thing is, I didn't know who this guy was. Like,
Yeah.
you know how you see somebody and they just have this presence about them.
Yes.
It's like, okay, you are somebody who.
And I know
You've
who
been
you
trained
like,
to do
some-
PR. Yeah.
Like I know.
What
you've been
is your deal?
somewhere. Like when I went to the Lightning game a couple weeks ago, Titus O'Neil was in the booth next to
well,
us.
I mean, that dude's huge.
I know, but I passed him in the hallway, and he's got like all these like UCF kids with him because they
Yeah.
were all home on break or whatever, and they had like this big thing the next day for at Raymond James, which I found out afterward. But I passed him, and I'm like, why are we standing in the hallway like it's a dorm? It felt like I was in a dorm hallway, and all the guys are like chopping it up and like, hey, and I'm like, can we just go? Like, why is the hallway stopped?
Who are we waiting
like,
for?
It
Yeah.
felt like a dorm hallway reuniting, and then we get by, and I'm like, wait, who was that? And then they put the light on. We're like, Titus. I was like, damn it, that's who that was.
Yep.
Huh, I should have hung out in the hallway a little longer.
Yeah, but yeah, like
yeah.
they just have like this presence, and so
Yeah.
this guy, he was walking in the reception. I'm like, this guy he was like 6'5", nice as can be.
Yeah.
But and just like like greeting and saying hello to everybody, but he was just built, and
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, this dude has played football or has done something in
Had
some
to have.
You're
athletic.
somebody.
And so the bride's dad comes up to me. He's like, you know who that is, right? Because they were all that couple. They were all Eagles fans. I'm from Philly, huge Eagles fan, and they were all Eagles fans. And he's like, you know who that guy is over there? I was like, no, but like, who is he? He's like, yeah, he's the head coach. He's the new head coach of the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, cool.
I was like, oh shit, that's Coach O'Connell. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, that's her brother. I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. And then there was the kicker for the New York Giants, who I forget his name. He was at a wedding too. But and the funny thing is, they were all at Lakewood Ranch Country Club.
Oh.
Sarasota is a funny hub with stuff
It
like
is.
that.
Yeah.
You're
It
like,
is.
wait, how did
We've
all
got
these
a lot
people
more here than-
get here and find us? Like, it's so strange.
It's like we're a secret, but we're also not a secret.
it is.
It's not
Like,
a secret anymore.
We don't think we're a secret, but they come here thinking it's like a secret space
Yeah.
to
Nope.
be in, but it's like definitely not.
Very odd. Very odd.
Well, that's awesome. That's so exciting. So you've got
Yeah.
the photo booth, and then it goes all digital, and then they get the photo at the.
Yeah, so they get
Link
them
at
right
the
to their
end.
phone, and then I always love when my brides get the full download at the end of it, or like the next day I'll send them the
Yeah.
whole like zip file, and then I'm like, okay, so enjoy watching your friends get tanked.
Yes,
like,
because that's what I love about a photo booth, because everybody starts out like all prim and proper,
and then
like,
it's like-
and then by the
To the
time
end
they're
of the
done, they're
night.
like
Yeah.
raging, and I'm like, yes, the progression of the
Yes.
alcoholism
As-
is at its finest.
especially as
Love
you
it.
can see your friends falling off of this one, like because it's so interactive. So things, I think, just this last 2 or 3 weeks ago during the holidays, we had a beautiful wedding at the yacht club, stunning, and the sweetest like bride couple, everything. But the group, they were, I mean, I was a Florida Stater, and they were as well, so it was really fun. So we got them all up there doing the chop and stuff, but the bridal party was like, you could tell that last time they had all been together was like deep college,
Yeah.
So it was like every time they were up on the booth, it was like a chugging contest, and I was
Yup.
like, you don't have to chug the whole time it's
Yes, you
spinning.
do.
Like it's not a race to you versus the arm.
It's now
like,
become like what do they call
a
it?
drinking game. I don't know.
Yeah, some type of like keg stand photo.
Exactly. I was like, oh my God, this bridal party is going to be tanked because they keep getting back on this booth, and every single time it's like, all right, it's going, let's go. And I'm like, so by the end, I'm like, oh no, so they're going to have to wheel them all out of here because they've done this so many times.
Yeah.
But
Love it.
That's funny.
Awesome. How's 2024 looking for you for bookings and everything?
healthy so far. We'd still love to be booked
Yes.
more in 2024.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm hoping that it's still obviously something people want to do. I think it's going to have a few years of run where it's really, really cool.
sure.
And then obviously just like everything, it'll kind of die out, and hopefully we'll have a
I think
different
it'll just
direction
become
by
like,
then, but
it'll be another option of a photo booth. Like right now it's
Correct.
like, it's newish.
Yeah.
It's kind of trending because I'm getting a lot of people asking me like, hey, do you guys have the 360 booth? So
Yeah.
now I know who to reach out to.
we're right here.
And on that, how do we get a hold of you?
Yeah.
You can find us online, or you can email me, all that good stuff. We are pose360.net.
For the website?
online, on the website. Yep.
Instagram.
Instagram is pose_360, but the O in pose is a 0.
All
So
right.
it just has to throw everybody off. Instagram with the name stealing and all the things
Right.
just drives me crazy.
Facebook?
I don't do a Facebook really. We've got a page, but I'm not as active on it. You can Facebook us if you want to. It's Pose360 on Facebook. But Instagram and like actual online is kind of the best way to get to us.
TikTok.
Awesome.
I don't have a TikTok yet, but
You're not
I need to be TikToking. I love it. I go down
360
there.
Yeah.
photo booth for TikTok will be
Because
great.
just imagine all
The
those like crazy
content.
videos that you
Yes.
can
I need to be on my TikTok game, so I think
Have
maybe
all your
that's
clients sign a release.
right.
Yeah.
Disclosure. Here you go. You're gonna be on my TikTok. Hope
Your
you know you're
photos
gonna
are
go
now
viral.
my videos, and I can use them as much as I want for
There
content.
is that in our contract already a little bit, so
Okay,
I'll just
good.
add TikTok in there. But I think actually that would be the most fun. I love TikTok personally. I think it's a great app. I know that's controversial, or whatever, but
I like some good TikTok scrolling.
it's such a wormhole. It just sucks you in.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
To
Yeah.
see all the weird, funny stuff that go on
10
behind the
minutes
scenes. would
in,
be
you're
great.
like, oh, it's been 3 hours.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What
How long are
happened?
you on TikTok for?
Last night I was on TikTok way too long.
Oh,
I was on
girl.
last night way longer than I've ever been on TikTok. I was on for like an hour on one live.
oh my god.
On one live.
And your phone's like, get off.
And I'm like,
Get off.
Have you ever had that happen where TikTok is like, all right, you've been on here way too long. We'll be here in the morning.
oh no, I've
That's happened to me.
Wait, really?
It was a video. Like, I don't know if they still do
been
it.
on that
Yeah.
long.
I'm like, wait, mine's never told me anything like that.
no,
It should,
like
but it
mine has
doesn't.
never told me that. Like I
Can
was
I
just
add
TikToking last
permissions
night
or something?
May-
Like,
I don't
like to
know.
set it up to make me get off of it?
Yeah,
That would be
get
great.
the hell off.
Yeah.
All right, before we end, I have 3 tips that I happen to see on social media for brides and couples, and I'm going to get y'all's take on this. And this is, I really thought these were cool. So, like kind of like a bridal guide or a wedding guide.
Okay.
So to the couples, you are not the host. You two are the guests of honor. Keep it that way.
Yes.
I
Like
really
you
like that.
host it until after your bridal bachelorette party and bachelor party. Like
Yeah.
you kind of host those sometimes, but that person, that job turns over to your planner, and you are the guest of honor.
Yep. So yeah, so these are going to be three wedding guides for the couple. So yeah, you are not the host. Keep this in mind. You are not the host. You two are the guests of honor. Keep it that way. So just like let the night run.
Yes.
Hopefully you have a good wedding planner and a good DJ who's
Yes.
going to run the entire
Just
evening for
invest
you.
in
Tim and
them.
Brandy.
They're worth their weight in gold, I promise.
Number 2, if you chose to not do a first look, reminder, you're paying for hours you're not attending at your own wedding.
Yes, because you're doing an hour or so of photos
Yeah.
after ceremony, so you're not attending. Yes.
What are your
Makes
thoughts
sense.
on
I never
doing,
looked at it that way.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on, I mean, we've talked about first look. What are your thoughts on a first
Yeah.
look or not doing a first look?
I was team not do a first look for the longest time. And then I had a groom explain why he wanted to do the first look because it was too much public display of everything. And like, it was all, the whole hype was like, all right, I want him to cry the second I walk down the aisle and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. And then the groom was literally like, no, I'm going to completely freeze up. This is just not, I don't like to be the center of attention.
And then you're not present for the actual
Right.
vows and ceremony. Once you've gotten all those initial emotions
Even
out,
if you
but you're
do-
still going to have emotions, but you're going to be more present than if you had.
You're still going to be
not had-
nervous because you got all those
Yeah.
people looking at
But
you.
you don't black out. You know what I mean?
You'll still
you're-
black out.
Not as much, I don't think.
So I got on team first look after that.
I
was like,
I
all right.
highly recommend doing a first look. Just having that sacred moment together with, your partner. And yeah.
I am same as her. I'm usually not first look because I like that raw emotion. However, it can still be captured when you do a first look together. But for me, I don't think it should be a very long first look. I think it should be brief. You should say some things that you want to say, but it not be like your vows, and take a couple photos and then apart. Like
And
it needs to be brief for me. Like
Yeah.
if you're spending 30, 40 minutes taking all these photos and stuff like that, then it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I
and
think it should be brief.
Maybe if
10
you don't do a
minutes.
first look, maybe do a first touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A first touch for you. I mean,
I'm sure the photographers and videographers would just completely disagree
yeah.
with us right now.
Oh
but
no, actually, I think
really?
No, they like
like
the
the
first looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're just like.
Yeah.
Well, right. That's what I mean. I think they would be like, oh, yeah, 100% do the full first look
Yeah.
and the 40 minutes
Oh,
of photos.
gotcha.
Oh,
yeah.
40.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a second. I just said that
Maybe
backwards.
because
Yes.
and
Yeah.
because they do want to be able to like have that time to style you and not rush it after ceremony. But you can get some intimates, but I think it should still be quick
Yep.
because you still want that sense of like urgency to see them again.
I like it structured like that, yes. Like, okay, now we're not just hanging out. Now we've seen
Yeah,
each other. We're going to
exactly.
get married in a minute.
Now you're gonna go hang out in the same suite meet
Right.
together. And no. We're just, it's a quick thing, and then apart you go.
Tip number 3. You don't need your phone.
You do
No.
not.
You do not.
Give me one reason why you would need it. Everyone is already there.
Correct.
And you've hired all the people that you need to hire.
So you
And where are
don't
you
have
going
to
to
have
put it? Don't walk down the aisle with it. Like I always have to and yes, brides, we know you have pockets. Eh. a lot of dresses with pockets, and we appreciate that. But that's for your lip gloss.
Yep.
Because your lip gloss be popping.
And a tissue.
And it's
Yep.
that's
it.
a mint.
Or a
you know?
Tums. Like, are you
Yeah,
nervous?
Something
Oh,
like
true.
that.
That's a
Yeah,
good
just
point.
like little things that you might need that are, like gum or a mint or whatever. But no, you don't need your phone. Go give it to somebody else to take photos with.
Yeah. You're not missing anything because
No,
everybody's
let them
there.
Take some photos
Your
with you.
bridesmaids are, if you've got bridesmaids, they're there for a reason.
Yep.
Hire a social media videographer.
You
if
could
want
actually
to.
hire a social media content
Yeah.
person
Which
for
we
your
just-
wedding.
I just found this out at Swell, which I think, have you heard of Swell?
I have. Yep.
Yeah.
You should get
Should
involved with
join.
it.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had. So I worked for an event kind of planning situation a year. It's complicated to explain, I guess. But yes, we were in Swell then, so I dabbled
Who
in
was
Swell
it?
for a year. So I worked for like lifestyle properties, and we as lifestyle event managers, it's like for big communities and stuff. We put on galas and things.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we joined them as the on-site event planners.
Oh, cool.
So yeah,
That's
we were in
cool.
Swell for about a year there. I'm not currently right now. I probably do need to get back in because I know they're awesome.
I finally joined.
Finally.
Um,
I have
You
been
had to talk it into it. Is
I
that
have
the deal?
been a solid member for 5 years, 4 years.
That's
something like
awesome.
that. Finally got him to join. And then
has
I
it been
brought
around
in,
for that long? Has 5 years?
Yeah, it has.
No.
Yes, it has.
A while.
It's been, yeah. We can text Jordan when we're done. But then I also brought in another DJ this past year as a new member too.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good for that DJ.
I know he's.
Or do you get recruiting points?
kidding.
Is that the
No,
like-
no, you don't. I mean, you just want to surround yourself with a lot of
Yes.
great vendors and options. And for me, being an event venue now on this side of it, I'm able to take the Swell magazine and say, okay, let's look through here and find your vendors.
True. Yeah,
And
that's a
I
good point.
star people and I circle them, and then they literally take the book with them, and it's like, okay, here's your guide to all your vendors.
everything's done.
And
Yeah.
everything's already in there. And I'll double star the one, some
Mm-hmm.
of them, and then or highlight, and then based on what they're looking for, I can direct them. And I know that they're good vendors. I know they show up. I know they do a good product.
That's awesome.
I can vouch for them, and it's not just them. It's my name and my venue on the line when I do that. But I know I can always look at my Swell members as solid
Right.
people. So
There you go.
reliable. We like reliable.
yes,
Reliability is key.
It is,
Absolutely.
it is.
Well, Alexa, thank you so much for taking the time to come down here on this
Yeah.
wonderful Friday. Friday.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and once again, so Instagram.
Yes, is pose with a no, like a
No, with a
letter
zero.
or zero. Yes, not a letter O.
Not on Facebook.
Underscore
Or-
360, and then not on Facebook really.
Well, you are on Facebook, but you're not as active.
Yeah, so
Better
find
to
us
go
on
to the
Instagram.
website.
And then you can and then the website is
Pose360.net. That's got our email, phone numbers, all the good stuff on it. You can do an inquiry and stuff on there, and you can also see some like live.
and you'll go.
videos.
You're from Tampa to Sarasota. Is that
Yeah, I've got a wedding in Manasota Key next week, so we're as far south as probably Fort Myers, and as far north as like I honestly don't know my way around Tampa that well yet, so I don't know, somewhere up there.
Tampa?
Pretty far out. I don't know, Lakeland.
North
I don't know,
Tampa.
what's over there?
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much. I'm Tim Schaus, TLS Entertainment, your premier DJ. Of course, the beautiful and wonderful Brandy Harlan, your non-retired wedding planner, and then Alexa Ann with Pose 360 Photo Booth and the CC Bridal boutiques.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that's us.
This is the Scoop Weddings Unveiled.
Peace and chicken grease.
Holla.